It is a brief end to summer break for state lawmakers. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marshall Zellinger in for Jennifer Meckles. A special session for the second time in less than a year starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And for a second time in less than a year, the topic is property taxes. Let's be clear about a few things. Your property tax bill will still go up, just not as much as if lawmakers stay home. And more importantly, this special session is not because lawmakers really want to reduce your increase a little bit more. It's simply to keep two property tax ballot issues from appearing on November's ballot. Those ballot issues would limit future property tax increases. One of the ballot issues, if passed, could cost the state $2 to $3 billion. Money the state would have to pay to backfill local governments and school districts that would be getting fewer dollars from your property taxes. In exchange for lawmakers reducing your taxes a little bit more, on at least the increases, the conservative group behind those two ballot issues will remove them from the ballot. In a Property Tax Commission meeting Friday, Ann Terry, director of the Special District Association, warned that without an even better backfill solution from lawmakers, the lack of funding would be catastrophic for rural hospital districts in Yuma and Meeker, and that libraries and parks and rec districts in several counties would have to cut services.
We have to figure out a way, if we're going to make these cuts, to make this deal happen, to backfill these districts, or we're going to see the things we love about Colorado, the reasons people want to live here and thrive and build their families here, go away.
Earlier this year, lawmakers reduced your increase in property tax by changing the way it's calculated. One of the changes was creating one math equation for school districts and a different equation for the other local governments that receive your property tax dollars. Weld County Assessor Brenda Donis warned that assessors in all 64 counties may use different software, and being accurate with the new math requires funding the state should provide.
We will no longer have a single assessed value for every property. We basically have two assessed values for every property, and our software was not originally programmed to manage that. We cannot do our jobs without good software.
The only way the special session is successful is if lawmakers agree to the framework of a deal made between the governor's office, the conservative group behind the ballot issues, and several lawmakers, which means the lawmakers and the public who were left out of the process could create some roadblocks. Tomorrow's special session will last until at least Wednesday because it takes at least 3 days for a bill to get to the governor's desk. The leader of the Colorado Republican Party is, well, it depends on who in the party you ask. A group of Colorado GOP members met yesterday and voted to remove Dave Williams as chair, and then voted in his replacement. Eli Bremer won that vote to be new party chair. He's a former U.S. Senate candidate. Well, he also once led the El Paso County Republican Party and represented the U.S. in the pentathlon in the 2008 Olympics. But the old Colorado Republican leadership sent out an email today calling yesterday's meeting fraudulent, meaning now former chair Dave Williams is still acting as chair. After being elected new party chair, Bremer alluded to there being a challenge to his leadership.
It's the start. There will be a couple more pieces of this that have to happen, but I believe we're going to have that cleared up very quickly. Then we're moving forward. I ran on a platform of fixing the party, getting back on track, and supporting our candidates.
Those who attended yesterday's meeting to oust leadership and pick new leaders also voted to cancel a meeting next week in Castle Rock. That meeting, called for by the now ousted leadership, is still on, according to the former leaders. So for now, perhaps there are two GOP chairs. And that is a smooth segue to weather. A live look outside now, another hot day for us in Denver. It's football weather, I guess, in a way. Storms are brewing out west, though, and already lighting up that radar behind you, Lauren.
That's right. We're expecting the strongest storms to fall across the western slope today. We've been watching that for the last few days, and now it's actually happening. So this is where we have severe thunderstorm watches in place. You'll notice we're much spottier across the Front Range and Eastern Plains, specifically northern portions of the Front Range and Eastern Plains. So as we zoom into the Denver metro area, the rest of the urban corridor, we're seeing some light rain showers hours, we saw a couple of raindrops fall through northwestern corners of the metro area, now through Estes Park and toward Fort Collins. We're just looking for a few raindrops here and there. As you're planning your Sunday night evening events, now we will see those temperatures stay pretty warm. We saw low 90s today. I think we're staying in the 80s through around 8 o'clock, maybe late dinner time. And as you go into the late night hours, we're in the 70s for a good portion of the evening. So I'll have more details on these storms that are out there this evening and the cooler 7-day forecast for you just ahead.
A missing paddleboarder was found by search crews this morning in a reservoir west of Colorado Springs. A Colorado Parks and Wildlife rescue team found the body of a paddleboarder in Rampart Reservoir. Yesterday, a witness told firefighters they saw a man fall into the reservoir and disappear. It was very windy at the time and the water was very cold. A dog on the paddleboard swam to shore. The search began late last night and the paddleboarder was found underwater early this morning. Jury selection starts tomorrow in the Boulder King Supers case. The man charged with killing 10 people at the grocery store in March 2021 has pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. His lawyers say he did not know right from wrong that day. Tomorrow will be 1,245 days since the shooting. The case was delayed more than 2 years after doctors determined the shooter was not mentally competent to stand trial. That changed last fall when a judge ruled the shooter's competency had been restored. One of the questions the judge still has to decide is if the jury will get to see body camera footage of officers making the arrest. Some of that footage shows the shooter's interactions with officers and his answers to their questions.